Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and with me today, one ranter on the mic is Larry. Hello, Larry.
Hey.
So, gang, we've got some new episodes coming out in the month of February. This is going to be the first. We're kind of doing our flashback February, I think is what we deem this, right? Yeah. So, we're going to be talking about movies that remind us of our childhood, things we loved, grew up watching all the time, still watch now if it's on TV. No matter which part of the movie comes on. You're watching it. Doesn't matter.
It's definitely. If you're scrolling through, you're like, "Yep, there it is."
There it is. I'm on it. I don't
2 minutes left. Don't care. End credits. I'll take it.
Credits are awesome.
It's got a good music to it. Good soundtrack.
Exactly. So tonight we're gonna start out with Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah.
This is my pick for the month. This movie I grew up watching. It was came out in '84. So I was only 8 years old, okay? Again, we've talked about this. My wife cries for my childhood every time. This is a PG-13 movie. I don't know how it didn't get an R. But I mean, there's some nudity. There's a lot of sexual reference.
Well, I think that's what it is. There's references, but I think that it's very light and quick.
It is
that you have to almost pay attention or no. So like a kid is not really going to understand it, but the adult that's watching it with the kid
is cracking up.
They get it.
Absolutely cracking up. So essentially, it's a movie set in the 30s. Stars Michael Keaton. He plays the titular character Johnny. Kelly, who it comes from a family in Brooklyn, basically.
Yeah.
Or is the Brooklyn or the Bronx?
Brooklyn, Bronx,
somewhere in there. His father was a criminal, electrocuted. He's got a younger brother who wants to be a lawyer, and his mother, played by Jean Stapleton, is just hysterical. Sorry, Maureen Stapleton. Excuse me, Maureen Stapleton, Jean's sister.
Yes.
Excuse me. And that we'll go into that because her character is just hysterical.
Awesome.
And basically, he turns to a life of crime. And he's now like he's a gangster, and nicknames himself Johnny Dangerously, and the whole hilarity ensues. It's a comedy, it's a spoof on gangster movies.
Yeah.
So if you've never seen it, obviously we're gonna spoil the shit out of it, but we're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna want to see that by the end of this podcast. I guarantee
what did it say? It came out in 86?
84.
I'm sorry, it came out in 84. If you haven't watched by now,
well, it's not as easy to find as I thought it was gonna be. I finally found it. I think it was HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max is streaming,
yeah. So, for a while there, it was really tough to watch. It was tough to find. I mean, I had it on DVD.
Right, but I think though, through the years, you've had to come across this.
You would think that. My wife is only 2 years and 45 weeks younger than me, and she'll tell you that every goddamn time because I say 2 years.
Well, this is right before Batman, right?
No, Batman was 89.
Was 89? Yeah, so it was before Batman. It was like 5 years.
It was 5 years. But this is around the Mr. Mom time.
That's what it was, Mr. Mom. Yeah.
72, 73, whatever it takes. So. This movie came out, and to me, instant comedy classic from beginning to end. Before we get started, though, before we actually start talking about the movie, I did want to thank the Three Geeky Dads and Tito. We never have officially. We did all the pods last because we did them all before we had them on our podcast. So obviously this will be a while. You'll have heard them.
Yeah,
Hopefully you did. Hopefully you listened to our Trading Places episode.
Oh, and if you didn't, you missed.
You gotta go back and listen to it. So that was a crazy day. There was 8 of us on the mic, splitting everything everywhere, 8 headphones, 8 mics, going to town. I don't know how anybody heard anybody talk, but we did. I've listened to it a couple of times. It was a long one. Hopefully you enjoyed that. They were amazing. They were incredible. It was so nice. The guys came up from Rhode Island, where they come from, where they all live, and they drove up all the way to Woburn and came to the school and podcasted with us. It was nice to have them in-house.
In-house, and that's the biggest part of it.
I've been talking to them through, Messenger. I did a pod with them via, Zoom or whatever. Like we virtually did it together. It was great to have them in-house. We could all shake hands and, put names and faces with the voices that we hear. You and I listen to them every week.
Yep, absolutely.
We're huge fans. Huge fans. We definitely do. Milo and Bruno, who knows? They love them, but Mila's not a huge podcast.
She doesn't listen to
ours.
Yeah.
So, if you're on the list, God bless you. You made the Mila cut. So,
yeah, right.
But everybody had a blast.
Yeah.
And went out to dinner afterwards, Chateau. Unfortunately, Bruno couldn't make it, but he was bummed he couldn't make it. But we had an absolute blast. blast. I sent them the pop figures.
Awesome.
Tradition on our show. When you come on the show for the first time, I try to get a pop figure for you that represents whatever show or movie we're working on. We're talking.
And hopefully,
about.
It doesn't turn into a bad habit.
Yeah, exactly. It seems to have done that for somebody across the table from me. You got some catching up to do, Larry. I'm at 5:30.
Yeah, I'm not going.
You sure? Get yourself a storage container thing.
Ain't happening.
Get yourself a storage unit and put them in there. Yeah. Anyway, big shout out, big thank you to the guys.
Yeah, those guys were great. Love working with them.
Brian,
it was fun. It was awesome.
Mark and
Derek, Mark and Tito.
And the Tito. I mean, just what a group of guys.
Yeah,
seriously, what a group of guys.
Good stuff.
The pod was awesome. Dinner was awesome. They're gonna try to have us on their show. Hopefully, I think it's the next month.
I mean, I don't know. They said it.
They're still talking about it.
But is it real, or were they just like
no?
Nice? I don't know. I don't trust them.
Oh, why is it got to be like that? Know, well, there goes that relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to pick it up. I got a bone to pick with Mark anyway. So
I know he said that he's gonna. You two have to have like a separate.
Mark and I are gonna have to have a separate thing.
You guys gonna have to. Yeah, you guys gonna have to offshoot pod. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, we're gonna get the pop figures back in the mail, chopped off heads. Thanks, Larry. So it's a pop figure head in my bed. So anyway, thank you again, guys. And,
thanks, guys. It was awesome.
We can't wait to be in the cantina.
Loved it.
We're going to be in the cantina with
yes,
these guys.
That's going to be great.
We're talking about that, so we're going to make that happen.
That was behind the curtain stuff.
So that's all right. That's all right. That's all I'm talking about. So anyway, all right. So let's go on. Let's get on with the show. All right. So again, let's just run down a quick cast here. Michael Keaton, Joe Piscopo plays Danny Verman. Holy shit. Marilyn Henner plays Lil Sheridan. Again, Maureen Stapleton plays Ma Kelly. Peter Boyle. Oh my God. Peter Boyle plays Jocko Dundee. Griffin Dunn plays his brother Tommy. Glennis O'Connor plays his fiancee wife Sally. Then there's just a shit ton of guest stars. Yeah. A shit ton. Dom DeLuise. Richard Dimitri, who we'll talk about because he's not just a guest star. Like he's a pretty major character within the movie. Comes up a bunch of times. Danny DeVito. I mean, the list goes on. Ray Walston. He's one of my favorite characters. He plays the news. He's
the news guy.
Oh my God.
It's the best part, and I could see, but now I can't hear.
Fuck, now I'm deaf. Shit.
I can see and I can hear, but who the fuck am I? Who am I?
I love it. That's just constant, right? Those running jokes throughout a movie.
Yeah.
So talk to me. When did you see this when it came out? Did you see it back in?
I'm trying to think. I remember being a kid watching this. I don't think I saw it at the theater. I think it was more of a
Sure, I did.
You probably did. I think I probably watched it like when it first came out on cable or something like that, right? Yeah. Again, when I was younger, I had older uncles and aunts that I lived with. So it was like, hey, if they want to leave the house, my grandmother's like, well, if you want to go to the movies, you got to take your nephew with you. So I'm like, I was always the tag along. So I got to see a lot of these movies, and then. We had cable when HBO came out. We had cable, and I'm trying to think. There was like maybe like 9 or 10 when we got the cable, and I remember it was like the big brown box, with the big clip. So I'm trying to think if like maybe I saw it there. But yeah, I mean, I was definitely younger than I should have been to watch this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
mean, like I said, if I saw it in 84, 85, I'm only like 8, 9 years old.
Right. So I mean, I don't think I was that far off, to be honest with you. Yeah. And again, like I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "This is a great movie. Yeah. This is hilarious."
I mean, it's just one liner after one liner, it's just joke after joke, memorable quotes after memorable quotes. This could be a 3-hour pod
of just you quoting it,
of just me quoting.
But just you though, like I would just sit here. I'd like go for coffee, go grab pizza,
from credits to credits.
Yeah, like that because that's what you do.
Which is what I do. That is a running joke with me and Larry. I quote things at him constantly. He just looks at me like I have 4 heads. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, yeah, he's got a Rolodex of quotes in his head.
I do. It's what I call a well of useless knowledge. The problem is, it's like a shot glass of a brain because you pour a gallon of milk in. You're gonna get some spillage.
Yeah.
I mean, the quotes are in there, but there's probably other shit that I should know.
That you don't. Yeah.
Gone.
See you later.
So that's that happens. All right. So what are some of your favorite parts? And then we're gonna go over like favorite character.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of parts. One of my favorite parts.
It moves pretty quickly. But it does. There's a lot of meat on this movie.
One of my favorite quotes from this movie, one of my favorite parts rather, is a part that I constantly quote, and it's when Maroney's sitting outside of the club and he's looking over the blueprints with his number 2 right now, and he's like, the club it's kind of small. I mean, how many people did we have? He was like, hey boss, we were packed. We had 600 people.
Turn them away.
Yeah, to turn them away. It was so packed. He goes, and that's what I'm talking about. I want
too fucking small.
It's too fucking small. I want that fucking wall knocked down. Take that fucking wall and take that fucking wall. And and Johnny Dangerously is on a plane above him, and he drops the bomb. Bomb goes, boom! And he goes, "This is Fargin Ward."
Yes. So Richard Dimitri plays Roman Moroni.
Yep.
He is a rival club owner to Peter Boyle.
Right.
He's going at it forever.
Yeah, he's a rival club owner, rival gangster.
The rival gangster, rival club owner. They're always trying to kill each other, get their clubs, take over each other's business, move into their territory, whatever. Yep. But he plays a character who's, he's Italian, right? He's got the Italian accent. His name's Roman Moroni. He's classic. He's just, the stereotypical.
It's right out of Central Casting mob. Yeah. That they were trying to
slick
get.
Back hair, and the mustache,
the pinstripe suit is.
Yeah, the whole bit. But he swears to beat the band, but he butchers the language.
Oh my God!
He butchers it. You Fargin Iceholes, right? That's
you summon a bitches.
You summon them bastage.
You summon the bastages.
Yes. So that's part of the charm. He's constantly butchering and saying things. So when you hear him say that, he's like, "Now I'm really angry."
Yeah,
this is Fargin War.
This is Fargin War.
Then they have the newspapers constantly rolling at the screen. Yep. Moroni calls Fargin War.
Yeah. So Moroni gets deported. Swayze's not from Sweden.
So eventually, Johnny helps pay for his brother Richard Dunn. Griffin Dunn's lawyer. He pays for him basically to be a lawyer. He gets him through law school. Because he becomes a gangster, and he's very wealthy. Right, he's got the nightclub. He's a gangster. He's extremely wealthy. So he puts his brother through law school, and his brother, instead of going to a law firm, goes to work for the district attorney.
Yeah,
fighting crime.
Yep.
Right. So that is the joke, right? So he's going after his brother, who they don't know who he is. Like nobody knows.
Nobody knows who Johnny Dangerously is because he stays behind. Yeah, he's always behind the curtains. You don't know,
and he always goes by Johnny Dangerously.
But. And we're going to get into that because apparently everybody knows that he's Johnny Dangerously because when he goes into his old neighborhood, they're like, "Hey, Johnny Dangerously."
Yeah,
and he's like, "All right, everybody, come on. He goes, "All right,
his brother."
Right. So everybody knows who this guy is, but yet nobody's got a picture of him.
Yeah. That's where we meet Dom DeLuise as the Pope.
The Pope, yeah.
Nobody's going to say nothing.
Yeah.
He keeps handing the Pope money.
Go get yourself a new gym. That's one of the, he goes to hand him the money, right? And he hands him this huge knot.
Huge.
He has 2 bills left in his hand, and he looks at him. And he's like, "No, I want those 2." And he's like, "All right, here you go."
You're really not going to give me those 2?
He literally gives him everything he has in his pocket.
Yeah. But it's constant in the movie. Every time someone turns around, there's a big knot of money, and every time they turn, it's another knot, right?
And they're huge too. I'm like, wow,
huge knot, right?
And that's one of the things too that I found hilarious. It's the old lady right downstairs,
Mary Margaret Catherine Deneen.
Yeah, there you go. She was like, how much will it take for you to come on? $19,000. I'm like, what the? And then the old lady, his mother, she pulls it out. I'm like,
$19,000.
That's a lot of laundry.
Yeah,
that's a lot of laundry she did.
I'm having a good year.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's funny. Like at the very beginning of the movie, we meet Johnny. He's hawking newspapers, and he comes against Danny Verman, the neighborhood bully, who eventually goes out to be Joe Piscopo, and that was funny, right? So, he starts taking over Johnny's territory, selling newspaper, and the blind guy walks by and he cuts the leash of the dog, and you obviously hear the car crash off screen, so then eventually Johnny knocks him out. He's a really good fighter.
Yep.
He's a really good fighter. So
at that point, John Boyle's driving by.
He sees what happens, and that's how he gets to know him and brings him into the fold.
Well, he doesn't bring him into the fold right away. He's like, "Hey, why don't you come work for me? I'll give you $50.
If he turns to crime, it'll kill his mother. It'll break his mother's heart.
It'll break his mother's heart. But he was like, "Hey, I'll give you a quick 50." He goes, sees his mom.
So what eventually turns him to do crime?
Well, he has to go to his mother, and the doctor's like, "Oh, she has a pancreas." No, was it the pancreas or the heart attack?
No, something.
She needed surgery, and how much did the surgery cost? $49.99, but only this week.
That's only this week. So I guess I got to do it because
I got to go do it now.
That is to get to $50. So that's the whole gist of the movie is that he has to turn to crime because his mother constantly needs something. Yeah. Pancreas surgery, everything. Her gallbladder, her pituitary gland. Well, it'd be good to see her spit again.
Yeah.
So, I gotta do it. We're gonna see her spit again. So that's the point. And the best part about this is he's in their apartment. She does other people's laundry.
Yeah.
And she's ironing and stuff like that. Holy shit! It's everywhere. There's laundry everywhere, right?
I think
I'm a year behind on so-and-so's shirts.
There's like a year behind.
A year worth of shirts. Who the fuck has a year's worth of shirts?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, that's a lot of shirts.
That's a lot of shirts. So he's in there and he gives her an ashtray for her birthday. He's like, I always want to take up smoking. She had every goddamn disease. She had everything wrong with her. I want to take up smoking. Well, that clinches it. And she's like, oh, geez, I only hope I make it past 30.
She goes, not bad for 29. I hope I reach 30.
Yeah, she looks like she's at least in her 60s, almost 70s.
I mean, obviously she is, right? But so part of that, though, right, is when he's going up the stairs, like how many flights?
Oh yeah,
like he's climbing up. Did you see like halfway through you see the guys are sitting on the bench and they're trying to catch their breath, sucking air. I'm like, oh my god, he finally gets up there.
She goes up and down those stairs all the time,
every day.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, it's just one funny scene after the next, just one little scenario, one little vignette of something happening, and we're moving the story along, and then it kind of jumps. It's almost like the Jesus years, right? It's young Johnny, then boom, next you see it's Michael Keaton. So the whole movie is really a story. He's telling remember? So that's how it starts. The beginning is the end, right? The beginning of the movie is technically the end of the movie. He
Quentin Tarantino'd us.
He did. He owns a pet shop.
Yep.
So Johnny's Pets, right? And the kid comes in,
tries to steal a dog
while he's feeding the other pets, right? Like all the animals in the place. And he's got the dog low-jacked, basically. He's got a metal detector tagged on the end.
He's got one of those little plastic detectors like that you'll see on clothes and stuff. That's what he's got.
Right? Yeah. He's just trying to get out and it beeps, right? He's like, what the hell was that? He's like, yeah, this little beauty right here. So then I love the part where he starts talking to the kid. He's like, crime doesn't pay. Let me tell you something. He starts talking about, and then he starts doing that whole woobly woobly. He's like, what the hell is that? Like,
it always does that when I talk about the past. So I actually wrote this down on my notes, and this is how I put it on my notes as the beginning of the Marco quotes. Because you quote this movie probably more than any other movie. Trust me.
It's one of my highlights. Yeah. Because it's got a million of them.
Exactly.
And you can find like any situation, you can find a quote from this movie.
Yeah. I've definitely heard numerous quotes. And you'll say it, I'm like, what are you talking about? And you just look at me like, Johnny Dangerously.
Last night or the night before last? I got you. Yeah, last night. I
think it was last night. Yeah.
The midnight run.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you hit me with these quotes, and I'm like, dude, I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years. And you get mad at me. You're like, I can't believe I saw that 10 years ago. I'm like, yeah,
probably more on some of them. Midnight Run definitely was only a few years ago, but I've known that quote since forever.
Yeah, but see, I don't
know. It is, and I totally get it. Like, it is that way with me. Like, put a song or give me a song lyric. Forget it. It's useless. It is useless.
Yeah.
Unless it's something really simple like Thriller. Like, it's freaking useless to me. I love music. I don't know shit about music. I can't remember music lyrics. It just doesn't resonate with me. Movie, TV, things like that, instantaneously.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it.
Instantaneously. I told you the experience with Fargo, right? When I was sitting in my mother's kitchen that time. I think it was over some. I was there for something. What the hell was I there for? And I'm sitting in her kitchen. Now, I've never actually seen Fargo. I've never watched it. But it was one of those movies when I was working at Cambridge Soundworks. It was like the beginning was it was a movie we'd play on DVD or Laserdisc at the time.
Right.
A good soundtrack, whatever. So I'm watching my mother's kitchen. All of a sudden, it comes up white. There's the snow, and then it comes back to the tractor. I'm like, oh, Fargo's on. I've never seen this. There was no credits yet. It hadn't said the name. All it was the fucking snow in the tractor. And then it goes, Fargo. I'm like, yeah, I've never seen this. I know too much. This is bullshit. I gotta get out of here. I know this movie. I've never actually watched it.
There's definitely movies that I've done that with. Like, you see like just that opening scene. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is, whatever it is.
Yeah. But snow in a tractor?
I mean, I don't know.
No characters, no people.
See, that kind of blows my mind because you've never seen it.
Yeah.
So how did you know it was Fargo?
It just looked like Fargo because I know Fargo is that. It's that movie. It was like a lot of snow. There's the tractor. I know that movie. I've seen commercials.
All right.
But
that one's
opening
weird.
is never in commercials. But I just like, it's got to be Fargo.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's my point. So I watch a movie once and immediately they have quotes and stuff from it, and then there's one or two more time watching it, forget it.
So that's another thing too. Like, you're a rewatcher of different movies. I will rewatch movies that I really, really, really like.
Yeah.
Even still, like, even that for me is kind of hard to like remember the quotes. But if I've watched it, like Goodfellas, I could quote. Just because that's a movie that I really, really liked. But it has to be like on that kind of level of me liking that movie in order for me to pull off quotes of it. Some of them I know like one or two, and if you say it, I'm like, oh, okay. You're like, oh, opening credits, end credits. I'm like, I have no idea what movie that is, and you just said the whole script for me,
That's right.
and you'll lose me.
Listen, Act 3 starts with this. So
yeah, right.
Anyway, back to Johnny Dangerously. Favorite character? Is it Roman Maroney? I mean, it could be. It doesn't have to be.
My favorite cat. Roman Maroney, yeah. just everything about him just cracks me up. Like, I mean, that's I don't know, like everything. Every actor, I think, in this movie, like, and that was part of the thing, so it's like, this is loaded with actors, that went on to do other things, too. I mean, you got Louis De Palma, and I can never remember her name. What was her name in Taxi?
Mary Lou Henner's character? Yeah. She was Elaine Nardo.
That's it. So, you got them two in it. You got Michael Keaton. You got Boyle. I mean,
yeah,
they were all...
I think she has an eidetic memory, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe you do too.
In real life, she does.
Yeah, maybe you do too.
I remember hearing that about her. She has an eidetic memory.
Well, no, but I like Maroney.
Down around the corner, like down the street from Kevin Smith.
Oh, really?
So I've listened to his podcast. And he's talking about her before because he sees her like when he's walking his dog or something like that. Yeah.
Oh. Maroney is probably my favorite. Yeah. Just because it's like he is the. It's the parody of, central casting, the mobsters. He cracks me. And honestly, like, I think that there's uncles that I have that kind of sound like him too.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably go with Maroney too, just as sort of like one of the secondary characters. He's my favorite. Mm-hmm. And not that Vermin's my favorite. He's actually not my least favorite. He just, he's Vermin. He bugs the shit out of you.
He does his job. Joe Piscopo did him good.
Oh, he really did. He really did. Yeah. And he's got one of the running jokes, right? Every time you do something to him that he doesn't like, he tells you some of his relatives, right?
Yeah.
Should kick me in the balls. My sister kicked me in the balls once.
Only once.
Right? He hung him on a hook. Should hang me on a hook, Johnny. My father hung me on a hook once. Should shoot me, Johnny. My grandmother shot me once. That was great.
So, when they're kids, Danny Vermin goes and steals his corner.
Yes.
You get out of here, Vermin. I'll get you back, Kelly.
Yeah.
So he knows that that's Johnny Kelly.
Yeah.
When he gets introduced to the gang, he knows who he is. Mm-hmm. Right?
They know who each other are, yeah.
Okay, so how the fuck... Thank you.
He should have known who his brother was.
You're going to take it right out of my mouth. He knows who... How does he not know who his brother is?
Yeah, he does.
He knows who... Because he knows who he is.
He does, right? Like, that's the part of the movie that kind of falls apart a little bit.
That's the only plot hole that I absolutely had with that.
A little bit, take another drink.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I don't... But you know who he's Johnny Kelly.
Yeah.
So... And when they get introduced, he's like, oh, yeah, we used to go out when we were kids. All right, so you guys know each other since you were children.
So you know who his brother is.
You know who his brother is, because unless his brother sat homeschooled and never came out, which I doubt. Because, again, the whole fucking neighborhood knows that he's Johnny Dangerously, except for his mother and his brother.
Right.
Because they think that he's just a wealthy club owner, and that's it.
He's a famous nightclub owner.
That's it. Yeah. So that one bothered me, man.
Yeah.
And,
it's a little plot hole.
With everything else in this movie,
I think there's another one. I can't remember what it is right now. I think there's another plot hole, but that's definitely one of the bigger ones.
That one really. Yeah. That one pissed me off.
I know. Yeah, no, it did to me. It always has. I remember that from when I was
a kid. I
didn't think put it together when I was a kid, but we've definitely.
Didn't he shoot him? He shot him.
Who he shot Danny Vermin.
Yeah, he shot Danny Vermin.
Yeah.
So how the hell did he walk out on his own accord?
Yeah, he winged him.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Winged him. Yeah.
Because the way he got shot, he kind of like falls through the screen. And he's like, and then also the cops pick up. He's like, I was like, wait, he just shot you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no.
Those are like two things that really, and those two things always bothered me.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's a comedy, it's a spoof.
Right.
So you kind of allow some, continuity errors or plot hole errors because it's not supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're telling a real story, and and the reality is it's all he's telling this kid. So is he getting the facts right while he's telling this kid these stories?
I mean, a story's a story. Maybe, possibly. Is he
embellishing about his time with Danny when he was younger? Is he and how they knew each other? Or
maybe.
You know what I mean?
What did you think about the animatronics? The robot Maroney.
Oh, that was obviously this is all set in the 30s, so it was like way before its fucking time.
Yeah,
there's a few of those things in this, but I thought that was hysterical.
I thought it was funny, but it was super creepy. It reminded me of the old animatronics from like Chuck E. Cheese, like when Chuck E. Cheese first opened. They just looked scary.
Yes,
I saw that. That was the very thing that popped in my head because he's like ding 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 ding. His spine is he's shooting everybody. That was. I mean, I like that. Yeah, Dare Bastages.
I hope we got at least a few of you. Yeah. Yeah, that was. If you ever watch Doctor Who, there's a few different, like the Tin Soldier Man or whatever, that come out during one of the Christmassy episodes or something like that. Kind of the same thing. Same with that the Santa Claus 3, I think it was, when it was like that rubberized Tim Allen, Like they made a copy of him because Santa had to go away, but they needed a Santa at the shop.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But it's it's Martin Short.
Yeah,
it's Martin Short, who I love, but like he plays Jack Frost.
Right.
He's the bad guy. But like it was kind of cool, but like it's really weird looking because Tim Allen. Like I said, he's all like dressed up and makeup up with like a rubber type face, so it looks really rubberized because he's supposed to be a robot. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Same thing, very creepy, very very creepy.
What what about when his brother wanted to quit school?
Yes.
And he takes him to the... He shows him the video. Your testicles and you.
Your testicles and you.
Because
These are the unfortunate ones. A bunch of guys, some old, some not so old, walking around in this hospital with just the largest beach ball sized nads in front of them. Just like, they're wider than their legs.
Yeah, well, it's
giant.
So is it because because they abuse them?
Yeah, that's what it said. If you abuse it, right?
Yeah,
because you had that little video with the cock and balls, basically.
The cock and balls,
kissing their Betty boop. It's like
a version of Betty and then it blows up.
It just explodes, right? Because he's pumping iron. Yeah. The little penis is pumping iron, and then he starts kissing her and it just explodes.
Yeah, because he wanted to quit school so he could get married, just because he wanted to get laid. Jesus Christ, Sean, I gotta get laid. Then he was like, then that's when he's like, I gotta show you this movie. He's like, I'm going back to school.
How do you get laid in 1930?
Yeah. Right.
Yes. He's a good boy, right? He can't go to bad girls. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's a God-fearing good boy. He can't have sex before marriage. And
then Johnny's sitting with the two women. Yeah. And he's like, "You think this is easy? This is hard doing what I do." I'm like,
"This is an easy job.
Son of a bitch.
This is a breeze." My favorite part about that whole thing is the end of that sort of joke. The end of that whole sort of scenario, when they finally get married, they go to the broom closet, the janitor's closet, and that's when Vermin and his sidekick had heard. They find out that Johnny Kelly and Johnny Dangerously, the same person, and he's like, Johnny Kelly's the DA's brother. And Griffin Dunn overhears and he's like, what? And he runs out and you hear from the wife who's on in the clutch like, that's it? You little shit?
Yeah, and then the janitor comes in.
He's singing,
oh, Lordy. Hallelujah.
He's like, Lord have mercy. He's singing the song. Oh, my God. And he comes in on this naked woman in the closet, in the janitor's closet.
That was good. I wanted to write that down, too.
Yeah.
What about when he, when was it? Yeah, it was right after that he goes and takes the walk. Oh, because he goes to the club, and then the Johnny Dangerously song, she sings it, and then he meets her outside, and they take the long walk.
Yes.
The long walk.
We gotta come to Chicago. Lil, this is New York.
This is New York.
Hey,
but now they're walking.
She gets that look on her face like, oh, shit.
Yeah, but as they're walking, you see the sign. It says New York with a line, and then it says New Jersey. So now they're crossing state borders. Yep. And they just keep walking and walking. And finally, to the end, he goes, where the hell are we?
I don't know. You walk in a circle? It's like a straight line right to Jersey.
And everything's legal in Jersey.
Everything's legal in Jersey. I'm going to see that on Saturday. Tomorrow night. Little dinner at Giacomo's and off to the play.
Oh, you going to Giacomo's too?
Oh, I love that place. We call it Jacoby's. It's the whole thing. But
fair enough. That's a good place. I like Giacomo's.
Yeah, I got a gift card for that for Christmas from my mother-in-law.
Oh, good stuff.
That. Yeah, it's
great gnocchi.
Stuffed ones, the stuff with the chicken and the. Oh my God!
I don't know if I've had the stuffed ones.
Oh, good Lord! Top of your head.
Really?
It's a stuffed gnocchi with chicken and peppers and mushrooms, and it's ridiculous.
Ooh.
Yeah, you get that. That's my go-to.
Okay.
I know we're way off track here, but that's
all right.
That's my go-to. If there's ever you go to some restaurants, just there's so much on the menu, I don't know what to get. I'm gonna do something new this time.
No,
give me my regular.
Yeah, because you go. Yeah, I constantly.
It's like you love that, and you don't want to make a bad choice.
Right.
And there isn't really a bad choice there, but you're scared. I got one shot at this.
Because the worst thing is you have a bad meal. That may change your mind, to ever go back there.
Right, and I'm not. We go back there, not a lot, but we go back there.
That's right. That's
one of our
go-to
spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Giacomo's is good.
Giacomo's is good. All right,
back.
We're back, baby.
So now after that,
no more nodding. Yeah,
no more. After that, another really good scene is when he gets dropped off Right, he's going to the club. He gets dropped off by his woman now, and he has to try to make his way across the street.
Yes,
and all the hitmen, like it seems like all the hitmen in the world, are trying to gun him down.
Sent out all the hitmen after them,
right. So I mean, it's an ongoing war now. It's full on, you know, and he's trying to cross the street, and you got the lady that's in the window that's supposed to be like a mannequin. She kicks the window open. She starts shooting.
She's got a Tommy gun.
You know, the guy, he's up in the tree. The guy is coming out of the street, the manhole,
Lady walking a baby.
And then so he finally goes to the tree, lady, hold on, and jumps out, he starts shooting him. Yeah.
He jumps over the sandbags.
Jumps over the sandbag. Obviously, the doorman. How's your mother, Johnny? She's doing good? Yeah. Here, take some more money.
Every time he mentions her mother, how's she doing, he shows concern, he gives him money.
Yeah.
So he just keeps, what a woman.
What a woman. He keeps it, and then he walks in.
Heart of an angel.
And then, so when he walks in there, he was like, oh, who's that? He was like, oh, that was the plumber. There was something wrong. There's something wrong with my toilet. He's like, and then he goes in and he goes, oh, that's weird. I didn't know that my toilet. I mean, I don't remember my toilet.
Like
I don't remember it being clogged. And then all of a sudden, the place blows up.
Yeah, right out of the bathroom.
He comes out, and he's got the plunger in his hand. Oh, the chain handle.
Because it's one of those pull chains.
And it's, oh my God, my dork is in my hand.
I'm standing here with my dork in my hand. It's not your dork. Look. Oh, Ralphie, you're still there, baby. You bald-headed beauty. I thought I lost you.
Absolutely hilarious. Again, that's another line.
Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle was great through that movie.
He crushed that role.
Yeah, you know, and that's pretty much where he hands over the reins to Johnny Dangerously. He's like, point. You know what? Look, this could have taken me out, but I'm all done, and you've got the club. It's all yours now, right?
He gives him the cigarette case.
Yeah.
The lucky cigarette case.
And did you catch what the composite of Johnny Dangerously was? It's Rocky.
Oh, yeah.
It's a drawing of Rocky Balboa.
Oh, the newspaper thing.
The newspaper. So
Johnny
the newspaper comes
takes over the club, takes over the crowd. They
don't
know who he is.
Right. It's the police composite.
Yeah.
And the composite sketch is of Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, it's Rocky. Yep.
Lost it when I saw it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, way before Rocky, but, the time it's...
Oh, no.
The time was supposed to take place.
Oh, right.
So it's way before.
But, I mean, they just drew, I guess they drew what they thought an Italian guy, the typical Italian guy looks like.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
But he's not. He's Kelly. He's Irish.
Yeah, but he takes the name Dangerously, so they don't even know really what he is.
Right.
So then there it is. It's central cast, and I don't know, maybe it's just another Italian guy that runs the mob.
That's right. Jocko Dundee wasn't, though, either.
No, he wasn't. No.
Fuck, Maroney was. Jesus. That was awesome. So Danny DeVito plays the DA. Mm-hmm. I never put together till I was older that he's gay. Like his character's supposed to be gay.
Yeah.
Because he's hitting on Johnny.
Yeah, when he's at the restaurant.
Yeah, to the restaurant. It was when I was older. Obviously, when I was a kid, I never put it together. It was only I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. I was like, oh yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, so we want to go to dinner? We should go on we should take a cruise together.
Yeah.
The hell?
Yeah. So he's hitting on him. He's like, it's a thought.
Yeah.
It's a thought. Hey, hold on to this. I gotta go make a phone call. And he sends in the bowl.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's a smoking jacket. He hands her the red smoking jacket.
My favorite color.
Yeah, he hands her the red smoking jacket, and he's like, oh, I gotta go make a phone call. And then the clip in the paper was DA, I forgot, DA whatever gets killed in a commercial or something like that, because it was a malt liquor beer, and then it was like the bull that came in and they put it up to a commercial, whatever. Oh, I thought it was funny.
Fun fact: bulls don't have any. They're colorblind. They don't care about color. That's for the crowd.
Yeah, it's
strictly
for the crowd
because of the motion.
Yeah,
when they're waving the cape.
Well, I'm trying to think. What was it? Oh, I think it was. When they go into the courthouse because his younger brother is getting married.
Yeah.
And Ma Kelly has to empty out her purse.
No, that was at the graduation.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was for the graduation. She
pulls out
she pulls out the vibrator.
And
that's what it was. It was for the graduation.
Yeah.
That shit had me
Yeah, she pulls out like a steak. A T-bone steak, raw.
Yeah.
A raw T-bone steak and a vibrator. She's like, hold this.
What the fuck?
She's staring at what the fuck? And then, the courthouse scene when she talks to Mary Lou Henner, she's like, I just want you to know something.
I go both ways.
I feel really close to you right now. I just want to tell you, I go both ways. She's like, Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what it is. And that's what had me die. Like, she had the quick, like, little one-liners too. I mean, everybody had just a couple of one-liners.
Yeah,
and it was really, really good. You know, this was a great cast. They did an amazing job with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, the writing obviously was.
I mean, it was straight slapstick.
So, another fact: it was directed by Amy Heckerling.
Okay.
She directed National Lampoon's European Vacation as well. Oh. And then she kind of left Hollywood, like left directing for quite a while because of that movie, because of how bad a time she had dealing with Chevy Chase.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, he was an ass.
So, I mean, I've heard that about so many things.
Yeah,
is he just an ass?
Yeah, apparently, Apparently, I mean, he's kind of like old school, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
his mouth.
Yeah.
Says whatever he kind of feels like in the old school mentality.
No filter.
No filter. Not as politically correct as one would hope. So yeah, I read up on it. She kind of broke away from it for a while because she just had a really super bad experience dealing with him on European Vacation. But she directed the fuck out of this movie.
This was done great.
Yeah, I mean, she's done a bunch of stuff since. Like, more recently, she's done a whole bunch of stuff. She's back in a big bad way, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
I like the little side things when what do you call it? When Danny DeVito tries to get his little brother to play ball.
Yeah, that was
the game show.
Get him to play ball. That's all he says. Get him to play ball. He turns into a huge game show at his mansion.
He's like, you can dress your woman in all this ice and fur coats, and it's basically getting him to go, hey, listen, you know what? We're gonna leave the crooks alone because we're all on the take. He's like, screw you, I'm out of here. Yeah. And he goes to leave.
Cook a turkey in just under a day in this new microflame oven. That was just under a day.
Just under a day for the whole.
Dunn's kind of like, oh, okay.
Okay, sure. That whole part was funny. But then when he goes to basically, he's not playing ball, and he calls up the office, and Danny Vernon, Joe Piscopo's character, is the one who answers the phone, and he's like, I guess he said just take care of him. He's like, yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm going to take care of him. So I'm guessing, he cuts the brakes in his car. The faster he goes, the song goes.
The radio on the radio. The song
so funny. Again, little things like
that. Oh my god! I realize the brakes out. He has to ditch the car into basically to the woods, but it's like down a hill, and that starts rolling.
Yeah.
The next scene, he's completely in traction. He's casted head to toe.
And the only way that because he was in the hospital bed with. In the hospital room, there was another guy.
Basically the same way. Like, how do we know? He's got your eye. He's got your dad's eyes.
He's got your father's eyes. And she writes Tommy on his face.
In case they move him.
Yeah, that was,
I mean. identify him.
That was some good stuff. I love the fact that Al Capone lives in the building.
Yes.
So.
And the wife comes to the door to get some bullets.
To get a couple bullets.
We're a little
low over here. Maybe Al needs to go, get his own.
Maybe Al needs to stay home tonight.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, Al's going to be pissed. Well, maybe Al's going to have to stay home tonight.
I think the best part about that, right? Like, I mean, when they showed the names on the mailbox, it was like Mr. and Mrs. Machine Gun Kelly, Pretty Boy Floyd and Pretty Girl Floyd, Al Capone. It's funny because, like, if you know Al Capone was the boss of the Chicago mob.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize was Al Capone was originally from New York.
Yeah.
He started not his big criminal empire, but he was like a leg breaker. He was like a numbers guy. He used to bang around guys in New York. So then he moved to Chicago. So I just thought that was kind of funny that, Al is in the building.
Yeah.
And just the nonchalant, it's like, this whole building, you have all these criminals. This is the criminals.
This is like the criminals building.
Yeah, they all live there.
Yeah. They all. Who else was? I can't remember who else was there. There's a few others too. I can't remember who the hell.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Pretty Boy Floyd and Pretty Girl Floyd. Yeah. I thought that was Mr. and Mrs. Machine Gun Kelly.
And it just said Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, it just said Johnny. Yeah,
name wasn't on it yet.
Yep, no, because they're not technically married.
Right.
We never saw them get married.
No.
So.
But they had to have been at some point, obviously.
Well,
at some point she talks about having little kids.
Well, she talks about having the kids.
Yeah, she's knitting. She's crocheting.
Right, and he's like, "Who's that for a little person?" And then when the escape. The escape.
Okay, so let's go into that.
Let's go right to the escape.
So, let's go. Why does he? So Johnny gets sent to prison. He gets sent to the electric chair essentially because he tries to go legit.
Yes.
And Vermin, basically, he sets him up. He kills the commissioner and sets up Johnny for the fall, saying that Johnny, basically make it look like Johnny killed him. So that gives Tommy the reason to kill him, to send him to the big chair, to the electric chair, which is another funny thing. She's like, you sent your old brother to the electric chair. You must be really proud of the mom.
Yep.
So he's in the big house. He's on death row, but he's wearing like the nicest clothes in the big house. Like, you know what I mean? I'll have the stripes, prison stripes, but he's got like a collar. It's like really fashion forward.
Oh, yeah.
Prison garb, because he's Johnny, right?
He's
smooth, right? So they're having dinner or whatever. They're in the chow line, and he's sitting there. He's like, and they got to get the grapevine. Gonna find out what's happening. Lil stays with Danny Vermin.
Yep.
She kind of cozies up to him to try to get information.
Try to get all the information, right?
So she does. Vermin is now planning to kill Tommy.
Yep.
At the Savoy.
At the Savoy Theater, yeah.
At the Savoy Theater. So she sends Polly, the parrot, who then shows up at the prison with prison uniform.
Which is hilarious.
He has a little prison vest on, and he sends her to the grapevine. So all the guys, like, Danny's going to kill Johnny's brother at the Savoy Theater tonight, pass it on. By the time he gets to Johnny, it's just really fucked up. And he's like, Danny Vermin's going to kill my brother at the Savoy. He's like, that's not what I said. He goes, yeah, but I know this grapevine.
Yeah, but I know this grapevine.
so he's going to bust out. So he fakes a riot, basically. He's like, he tells the warden, send me the chair tonight.
Yep.
This is where it gets fun. Like, real fun.
He's fun.
Walking down death row. And his assistant, his number two, is now the priest. And he's got the Bible with the ammunition slot for the Tommy gun.
You don't have it up?
No, I don't. I'll get it for you.
I thought maybe you'd have it up.
Yeah, I'll get it up. Keep talking about it.
So, as his, he's giving him his last rites. He's walking down, and he's giving him the whole speech, He's reading out of the Bible, and he's saying different things. And as they're going down, he's shaking the other prisoner's hands like, hey, nice knowing you, Johnny. But they're handing him pieces of a Tommy gun.
Yes.
So as they're walking down the aisle there, he's putting the Tommy gun together.
Yes.
Because that's how he's going to get out, right?
Right.
Because inside the Bible itself is the last piece.
He's shaking hands with all the prisoners.
Right. Yeah, he's shaking hands, and they're all handing him the parts as they go down, and he's putting it all together, and the last piece is the drum that's inside the Bible.
Yeah.
Also, side note, you know who the desk sergeant is?
Yeah. It's Tom. It's Alan Hale.
It's the skipper.
He's a skipper. Yeah.
He's a skipper from
Alan Hale. Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island. Oh boy.
Yeah. it's late. Yeah.
So that's outside of the whole Maroney outside the club.
Yeah.
This whole thing, like starting from when Paulie gets to the grapevine, like that part, this part, and the escape part, to me is all one. This whole thing is probably like my 1A. If because it's just as good. It makes me happy just to like watch this whole thing unfold in front of us. How's it looking over there, Pops?
Yeah, it's doing okay.
Okay. What about before he goes to turn himself in, they're all like cleaning their guns and they're all smoking inside there. And he walks in and he's like, Jesus, because he doesn't smoke, but everybody else does.
Yes.
And he walks into his office and everybody's smoking. And he's like, Jesus Christ, maybe you shouldn't smoke. And he goes on this whole, it's basically like a non-smoking ad.
Yes.
And then he looks at the camera, so he breaks the fourth wall. I was like, holy shit, they were doing this as far as cinematography goes. Mm-hmm. I don't know of anybody, especially in the early 80s, that did that kind of stuff, that broke the fourth wall when they did movies.
Yeah.
So now we see it a lot, especially with Deadpool and She-Hulk, and a lot of movies do it now. But back then, I don't really remember it, being there. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh shit, that's pretty good. Go Michael Keaton.
Yep. So the priest, obviously it's his number two.
Yep.
So he doesn't really have a real Bible in front of him because it's bored out to have the cartridge for the Tommy gun. So he's just making shit up as he goes. He's walking down. How the warden and nobody really picked up on this, because it's a comedy, right? So he's the Dominus Nabisco, Espiritu Sanctum, they got the bus, me got the bus, you got the bus, we missed the bus, they missed the bus. When's the next bus? Right? Summa cum laude, magnum cum laude. The radio's too loud.
The radio's too loud. That was
good. I like that. Adeste Fidelis, Semper Fidelis, High Fidelis, Post Meridian, Anti Meridian, Uncle Meridian, all the little meridians, Magna Carta, Master Charger.
That was the Master Charger.
Yeah. Dom Marcellus, Lost of Vitalis. one thing after another.
And again, like he's walking down then finally get to the end, right?
Yeah, he's got a full Tommy gun.
He's got the full Tommy gun. And then he's like, all right, do whatever you want. And he throws him the gun, and the thing just falls apart.
Because you were really going to kill me. He's like, what, with this?
Well, yeah, that's what it was. And he goes, I was never good at shop.
Yeah.
And then they get away.
Yep.
They get in the car.
A black sedan.
Black sedan. He goes, all right. They put it out there. Calling all cars. Be on the lookout for Johnny Dangerous. He just escaped.
Two accomplices.
They're all dressed and they were in a black sedan.
Uh-oh.
She's like, all right, Johnny, we've been made.
Yeah.
Then they start changing.
Yeah.
They get into, what is it?
Were they nuns at first?
No, I think
fishermen. Trout fishermen.
They were the trout fishermen.
He gets out of the car. He's literally, as they're driving, he climbs out of the window and starts peeling the shelf paper. Yes. Hope this works. It always works at home.
Yeah.
He pulls it back and it turns to white. He turns the entire car to white. Pulled off all the black shelf paper and it's now a white car. So immediately, and how this fucking happened, I don't know.
That's what I wanted to know.
I mean, it's a comedy, right?
Right, it's meant to do.
It's a spoof.
Nope.
Immediately, again, we're back to Alan Hale. He's like, calling all cars. Now be on the lookout for Johnny Dangerously and his accomplice dressed as trout fisherman in a white sedan. Driving a white sedan.
She's like, Johnny, we've been made.
Peel the next layer. He peels it back. It's blue with duckies and bunnies on it.
Yeah.
She's like, what the hell? She's like, hopefully it'll be in Johnny Jr.'s room. He's like, yeah, sure. And he keeps peeling it back. They get in the car. They're dressed as nuns.
They dress as nuns.
My favorite one, they're trying to dress, and his assistant's in the back is mooning out the window.
These guys' ass pressed up against the window.
Like, well, there's something you don't see every day.
Yeah.
Right? So then it's, again, we're back to Alan Hale, calling all cars. Now be on the lookout. Oh, go get this. Johnny Dangerously and his accomplice dressed as nuns, driving a blue sedan. You'll love this. Covered in duckies and bunnies. Calling all cars. Meet me at McGinty's. I'm buying. Right,
and at that point, they get dressed. They get to the theater. Right,
yeah, and immediately they're dressed back they're dressed in tuxes.
Well, yeah, they get back to the tuxes. But hold on,
it's a Cagney movie, right?
It's a John Cagney movie, right?
Yeah.
But hold on. Now they're at the movies, right? Because this is where they're at the Savoy Theater. The
mom goes up to the concession stand.
It gets like bonbons, popcorns, and a white trout and a white fish.
And a white fish. And he gives her the candy and just puts one white fish aside and grabs another, wraps it up on some like tissue paper and hands it to her. And you watch her in the movie, she's fucking eating it.
Yeah,
she's eating a raw white fish.
Well, I mean, maybe it was kind of steamed.
It didn't look cooked.
I mean, maybe it was steamed.
Maybe it could have been
white fish. I mean, not for nothing. Yeah, I mean, it could look good. But that had me dying because all I could think of, again, because we
dildo in the purse.
Well, the dildo in the purse. But besides that, she's eating the white fish. All I could think of was Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places when he was eating the fish.
No, the salmon.
Yeah.
Through
the beard. So that kind of made me think of that because we just did that podcast, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
So that kind of gave me a little bit of a flashback. Theater,
like front row.
Yeah, front row eating the white fish.
Yeah,
that was great.
So that's where Vermin's like behind the scene, takes his little switchblade knife, cuts the screen.
Yep.
Slightly cuts the screen and sticks the gun through it. How nobody didn't see that, I don't know.
Well,
but he's basically going to shoot Tommy when Cagney gets it.
When Cagney gets it, that's when he's going to shoot him. And, we're watching the movie. We're all waiting for it because we all know it's coming, right? We're all anticipating it.
Johnny runs down, jumps across, shoots him, and takes the bullet.
Yep, takes the bullet. Takes the bullet.
But again, gets him right in the cigarette.
Gets him right in the cigarette case. It's a lifesaver.
Yep. Actually, he didn't get Johnny. He got Tommy. Tommy had the cigarette case because he took it off of Vermin.
That's right. And that's how he knew. So that's how he knew that Vermin did it. That's right. Yeah, we skipped that part.
Yeah,
he figures out that he's the one who did it because of the cigarette case.
That's when Ma Kelly kicks him in the ball and knees him in the balls.
Yes.
Hold on, Johnny taught me this once. She
fakes him with the right.
She does the whole like sort of Irish boxing. And wiggles her hands, like circulates her hands, and then knees him right in the balls.
Right in the balls.
And the cigarette case comes flying out.
And that's when he was like, "Wait, this is Johnny's cigarette."
Gum, and it's got a bullet dent in it because that's how Jacko Dundee survived when he got shot.
Yep. So that's how he knew that it was Vermin.
Yeah.
And not Johnny. So
Johnny's not guilty, and you send him to the big guns.
Yeah.
She fucking socks him.
And so they get Vermin.
The mom's laying people out left to right.
Oh yeah. Vermin gets hauled away, which again, I mean, he gets shot.
Yeah.
He falls through the screen because he got shot.
Oh, where did he get shot? I mean, he could have got shot anywhere, like in the shoulder.
But still, though, I mean, not in City Blood. The way that they picked him up, I was kind of like, all right, whatever.
It's the 30s.
It's the 30s, yeah.
And he's a criminal.
Yeah, so take him off to jail, and You know,
so the whole movie, like, again, this is all Johnny telling this punk kid who's trying to steal a dog. So now it's like they're all like, great, everything's fine. The warden, the governor gives Johnny a full pardon.
Yep,
everything's
full pardon,
great,
right?
Everything's fine
Because he saved the assistant DA.
Yeah.
Now the current DA, right?
Yeah, and potentially the governor.
Potentially the governor, yeah.
Right. So now you cut back to the present. Back to Johnny in the pet shop with the kid, and he's like, and the kid's like, oh my god, the electric chair. Like he's basically scared the kid straight.
Yeah.
Right. So the kid's gonna take off. He's like, I'll don't worry, Mr. Kelly, I'll go straight. He's like, let me make sure you do, or I'm coming for you. Right. So the kid tries to think, aren't you forgetting something? And he picks up a cat. I love the cat, and he dusts the cat off. He takes his dragon, dusts the cat off,
and hands him a cat.
And hands him a free cat.
If I was the kid, I'd be pissed.
Well, you came for a dog.
Came for the dog.
Yeah.
I came for a dog. Give me the dog.
I can't reward you. You tried to steal, and the dog's more expensive than the cat.
Bullshit. Give me the dog.
I get it.
I came to steal the dog. If you don't want me to steal your dog, give me the dog. Because for that, you're right. Crime doesn't quote unquote pay. But give me the dog, because the cat, I'm gonna have to steal because I want that dog.
Rewarding you can't. I mean, you did have to listen to my whole goddamn story.
He gave him a cat. That's still a reward. So if you're gonna reward the kid. No.
Did that always bother you too?
That bothered the shit.
As a kid, that bothered me. As an adult, I'm like, no, I get it. But as a kid, it totally bothered me. Like,
I can't.
The kid wanted the dog.
I want the dog. What the hell am I gonna do with the cat?
Exactly. What am I gonna do with the cat?
Suck.
That's what I thought too.
If you're a listener and you're a cat person, I'm sorry. I don't like cats.
I would be honest with you, I was never a cat person. Cats used to hate me. For whatever reason, growing up, like no cat ever liked my uncle's cat, my cousin's cat. They all fucking hated me. Dogs loved me. But then my ex-wife, we had cats, and they loved me. They were great. I got really sick because it turns out I'm allergic. I'm allergic to a certain type. We had two. The girl cat I was very allergic to. The boy cat, which was technically like mine, I was not allergic to.
Okay.
Because at one point we had to separate them because the girl cat was just beating the shit out of the boy cat. She wouldn't let him eat. She wouldn't let him use the litter box.
Oh, man.
Oh, she was fat, and she just took over the house, right? So the boy cat was like, I guess I'll just shit on the rug because she won't let me shit in the litter box.
Oh, Jesus.
So eventually we sent the girl cat back to my ex-wife's mother. Boom.
Okay.
And 2 weeks after that cat left, I stopped coughing. I was able to sleep in bed. Like, fuck, this is like 12 years.
Oh, my.
Of this shit. And my boy cat would sit on my chest and nothing. No problem.
Well, that's why you never thought of it being the cat, because the boy cat you will find where it was.
Yeah, he was more that hair type. She was more that fluffy fur.
Yep.
You could brush her, and then like next minute you could brush her again and make a whole other cat. So much fucking fur immediately when you brushed her again. It was gonna tear her cat again. Like Jesus. So anyway, that's my thing with cats. I don't hate them like I did when I was younger, but I don't find them as useful as dogs. Dogs are more companions.
As useful? I didn't even know that they were useful.
They have some uses. They keep your house usually free of like vermin and things like that because they do chase out the mice and things. So there's that. A dog just plays with them. It's like, oh, that's fun, and then runs away. But a dog is more of a companion to me.
Yeah.
A cat just treats you like kitchen help.
Yeah.
All I fucking see you as. You're kitchen help. When I need you, put out my food and fuck her off.
Yep.
Right. When I want to come up and cuddle with you, I will.
For 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds, then I'm done with you.
And then don't touch me anymore.
A dog will sit there all night.
Yeah.
You call a dog over, he comes and sit with you, and he'll sit right next to you the whole day.
Yep.
At your feet. You know what I mean? That's why. And again, I'm not trying to pick a fight here with cat lovers. Yeah, I get it. People are cat lovers, and that's totally cool. Just not me. Not me. I loved my cats.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I love the shit out of my cats. They were awesome cats. And my boy cat was like a little maitre d'. He was mostly black with a little white tuft and one little white paw. And he'd sit there very proper. You look at him like he's like, table for two? He'd click at you like, oh shit. So when I got divorced, he stayed with me because he was my cat. And then Amy came into the picture. And he was not a fan.
Oh.
Now, he didn't hate her. He just didn't want to have much to do with her.
Because that's how cats are.
Well, it's no, because like she was now invading his space. So we'd be in bed and doing our thing, and he would just be at the end of the bed, but not looking at us. Like, I'm gonna be here because this is my spot, but I'm not looking at you two. I'm not condoning.
That's creepy, man.
I'm not condoning what the two you fuckers are doing because I don't know about her yet. He just started to come around, and then we had to put him to sleep. Yeah, both him and the sister both died of kidney failure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, within like 6 months of each other. They were all part of the same litter.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, that's what makes them brother and sister, same litter.
That's what happens. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So pretty.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But there is. I mean, again, I'd be pissed if I was the kid.
Yeah, he gets cats. No
dogs. And then remember, kid, crime doesn't pay.
Yeah.
And then he gets out.
He gets out. He's got the big limo. Everybody's piled into the limo.
Right. He's like,
he stares at the cat. Well, pays a little.
And then that's how they end the movie.
Yeah. The soundtrack.
I was just, So Opening song.
Tell him.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
Blew my mind.
Yes.
Man. When I hit play to watch this, the song came on.
It right now, but I want to get our ass kicked off of YouTube
This is true. Just trust us. That's the life. Or
yeah.
So I hit play. It comes on. I wasn't even like looking at the screen. I heard it and I went, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
That's like that's a young Weird Al. Right. Right. But I was like, "Oh my god, that's a young Weird Al."
Yeah.
So I actually looked it up while the credits were going, and then like right at the end of like the opening credits, it says title song by Weird Al Yankovic, and I was like, "That's awesome." That's before he was making the spoof. I'm pretty sure that was like before he was really doing like spoof songs. I think.
Really? You could be right. I honestly don't know. I know.
I'm trying to think of the years.
Bad and all that,
Right. I'm trying to think of the years though.
All the other different things.
So actually, maybe not. Because I mean, he came out like off the heels of like Dr. Demento and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he was.
Boot to the head. That's one of my favorite. It's absolutely one of my favorite.
So I'm trying.
I'm ready now. Okay, boot to the head.
I'd have to. I don't know if you're listening, correct us, please, because I'm trying to think. What year did it come out?
Best offense is the great beast defense is a great offense. You know who said that? Mel, the cook on Alice. That was the same skin. Because the old masters just like all these quotes.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the shit that I'm talking about.
You must have a defense. Oh yeah, the best defense is a good offense. You know who said that? Mel, the cook on Alice.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Quotes.
Everybody get him. Boot to the head. Boot to the head. Boot to the head. If you haven't heard the boot to the head scene, you need to go and listen to it.
Rolodex.
Have you seen it? Have you heard that boot to the head skit?
No.
Okay, well, between podcasts, we'll listen to it.
Okay.
It is hysterical. I mean, you're a martial arts guy, so it's hysterical. The guy goes up to the ancient Chinese master trying to learn. He's like, I just want to beat people up. This is what it is. I just want to kick ass.
Wait, maybe I did.
He's just like, you don't do that. You have to go to enlightenment first. And he's very quiet. And the guy tries to attack. He's like, just attack. How about I just attack you? He's like, go ahead. Boot to that. Ah!
I think I did because it does sound familiar.
Bruno actually let me. That's where I heard that first time. Bruno introduced me to that.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense actually.
Yeah, they introduced me because he was older, right? He was much older than I am. So he introduced me a lot. Like he was the first person to ever let me hear Dane Cook, things like that. I never
really.
Heard, Dino, Bruno and Delio, his brother.
Yeah,
both they brought over like the Dane Cook tape. Audio cassette.
Really?
I think so. No, it was a DVD. Sorry, it was a CD. It was a CD. It was
Dane Cook? The kid from Arlington?
The first CD, yeah. His very first one, yeah.
How old were you when that shit came out?
I remember.
Are you sure?
I remember what his first album was, yeah. I don't want to remember. We can look it up now. Sure, that's good radio.
I mean, look. So, no, wait, where are we?
We're at 57. We got plenty of time. Oh. No, but that's the movie.
I think it drew the shit out of it. It's a great movie. It really is. It's a movie that I do enjoy. And you know what? It's been actually a really long time since I have seen it.
Yeah.
And again, there's always a couple of quotes that I remember from it rather. Yeah. But this movie, I was kind of nervous because it's been a while since I watched it, and this is something that I always feel like whenever I go to watch an old movie that I haven't seen in a while, I'm always like, you know what, is it still going to hold up for my comedic, preference, right?
Yeah.
Am I still going to find those jokes funny again? Am I going to find this movie funny, or am I still going to like this movie? It's been like 10, 15 years since I've seen it. Does it still hold up with me? I hit play. And I watched this, and I went, "Yeah, man, this is a good movie.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was exactly what it's supposed to be. It wasn't like jaw dropping. Oh my god, great acting, but it was funny. It's kind of like Transylvania 6-5000.
Yeah,
hilarious movie.
Yeah.
It's not a masterpiece, but it's funny as fuck all.
You just sit back and laugh. And
it's a popcorn movie, That's exactly,
and you need the movies where you can get involved, you can understand the story and how it wrote, everything. But then sometimes it's just nice to turn your brain off, right? Because you're thinking all day, your job, your family, whatever. So it's nice sometimes just kick back, you know what I mean? Just put on a movie. You don't have to think. I just be entertained, laugh my ass off, and just have fun.
Right.
I don't have to think about subplots and and all that kind of stuff going on. And again, continuity. Who gives a shit? It's out the window. So that's why. Yes, this is the life, but we'll. I love the beginning of the movie when they talk about where they're at, and like, basically what happened was because of the Great Depression, it was like a law. You had to walk outside for like 9 hours, 10 hours a day with a hat on. It's like an old-timey, videos.
So I want to touch on that actually.
On the streets wearing hats. Then you see the 1935.
And he rolls over it, right?
It rolls over and crashes into the 1935. Real letters.
I want to sit on that. Yeah, the beginning was again, and that kind of
tone.
That sets the tone. It sets it up. You know what kind of movie it is. You're like, shit. All right, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I do like though that Dom DeLuise gets his name in the credits. He was literally there for 25 seconds.
Oh yeah. He plays the Pope.
I mean, but he was literally there for like 20. I think he had more screen time in this movie than Boba Fett had.
Oh my God, we're going back to that well.
Yeah,
this is your Batmobile.
This is my Batmobile. Absolutely.
100% your Batmobile.
This is my hill. He had more airtime, screen time than Boba Fett had in a whole fucking episode of his own show.
I know.
I'm just putting that out there.
It's there.
And this is my Batmobile.
This is definitely your hill. This is the hill you're going to die on, is that fucking Boba Fett episode. Which episode was that, Larry?
That was episode 6?
I think it was 6, yeah.
Or 5?
No, it was 6. So 6, 7, and 8 were like the last one.
That's right. This was an 8. That's right. This was an 8 episode.
Yeah.
5 and 6 sucked.
Yeah.
6 was the one that he's on, I think, total screen time was like 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And he had no lines.
Yes.
He nodded.
He nodded. He did a very Boba Fett nod.
Fuck that movie. Fuck that shit. Piss me off.
Who knows? They're probably gonna do a second season.
I hope not. And if they do though, they need to either retcon some shit or have him turn back to what we know Boba Fett to be.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you bring the blue guy with the
Cad Bane.
You bring because
he's not dead.
Right, he's not dead. So you bring Cad Bane back and you bring Boba Fett back, but you turn Boba Fett back to the way he was.
Yeah, turn him back to a badass.
Right, because that's what you promised us when he killed Nib for tuna, big can of tuna, sat on the throne. Yeah, you look at me all you want.
Can of tuna.
He killed
He's slain by Bo-Katan and killed the can of tuna.
That's right. And he was supposed to be the Billy Badass, and instead he's walking around without his helmet with the reject Power Rangers.
That's right.
They were like the GoBots.
They were. They were the GoBots of the Power Ranger crew.
Man.
That was awful.
Get me all sorts of pissed off.
You are. So 101, that's where we're going to be.
Yeah.
101, that's where we want Larry to be. Pissed off.
Absolutely. Fuck that.
That was awesome. All right, Larry. Any last notes on Johnny Dangerously other than obviously go watch it?
I mean, go watch it. It again.
But you do have to, it's one of those things, you do have to realize this movie was made in 1984.
Exactly.
Please, if you do watch it,
yeah.
And you're not 46, 47 years old and grow up with this shit, you're born, I'd say after 2000.
Yeah.
Okay? Understand when this movie was made.
Yep.
Okay? It is definitely a reflection of the time.
Yeah, of movie times, really. But yeah. I mean, even though, there wasn't a lot. There wasn't bad things.
Women and things like that. There's a little bit of that.
But I think though, so this was a parody of movies of the 30s.
Yeah, it's a parody of gangster movies.
Right, gangster movies in the 30s. And if you watch some of those old, the Jim Cagney movies, right? If you watch some of those old movies, that's how it was.
Oh yeah.
So it's like this is a parody. So remember that.
But it's so unfortunate that in this day and age, people have a hard time with that. You know what I mean? At 2023, people kind of have a hard time with saying, okay, because again, we cancel people who made a shitty text tweet 7 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And again, even if it's a tweet that's was never meant to be bad, and 7 to 10 years ago, it didn't tweak anybody out. Because, and I heard this, and Ricky Gervais, obviously a comedian, but in some ways he's very insightful.
Yeah.
And he said it on one of his specials. He's like, how the fuck do you know 10 years ago that this is going to be a problem?
Right.
You don't. We didn't know 10 years ago we'd have to define what a man and a woman was.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not putting that down. I'm not trying to start an argument, but it is where we are at.
Yep.
And that's okay to be where we're at. That's not the problem. The point is, we didn't know that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So how the fuck do you write something like shit? I don't know. 10 years from now, this would be a very innocent thing. I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be big. I'm not trying to be,
right. But somebody's gonna pick whatever you said. Somebody may pick something that we said throughout this.
Because what people don't understand is a joke is a joke. And people say that's offensive. No, it's not. You found it offensive. It was offensive to you. You internalized it, and it offended you. It was not meant to be offensive. It's not an offensive joke. It's a joke.
Right.
And that other person who's sitting next to you is laughing their ass off because they didn't internalize it as offensive, even though I can actually be talking about them.
Right. But I mean, I feel that as far as comedy goes, and they've all, like, over the last 5-6 years or whatever, like, they've all been saying it's their job's getting hard.
Very hard.
It's getting really, really hard because they can't tell a joke anymore.
They can't without somebody chopping them up.
Yeah, I mean, there's somebody chopping them up. And then not only that is, then they're getting. Some of these comedians are getting asked to go on shows, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, I'll go on the show. But it starts off as, oh, we want to put you on our show so you can promote whatever tour you're going on. Right. Oh, okay, I'll do that. Then they get them on the show, and then while they're there, they're like shitting on this person. And it's like, wow, you kind of set me up.
Yeah.
I just saw a clip. I can't remember when it was, but it was Russell Brand. Russell Brand was doing he was coming up with a tour, and he got asked.
Full disclosure, I can't stand him, but go ahead.
Fair enough. But he goes on the show. It was like a morning news, whatever. Yeah. And it was supposed to be just, he goes on, they talk about his tour that's coming out, and then that was it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. They try to berate this man and make him look like the biggest dick, asshole, whatever. Now,
just because I don't like him doesn't mean I want that to happen to him.
Regardless of whatever your own personal belief, if you don't like his comedy, you don't like him, that's on you. That's fine. Change the channel. Yeah. But these people brought him on, these people, they brought him on and they purposely tried to do that to him.
Which I don't dig.
And he flipped it on them so amazingly.
Even though I can't stand him, I have to go back and watch that.
I'd have to look it up, but he did it so well. But this is what I'm saying though, like today's comedians, they have a tough job.
Yeah.
Like it's not just telling a joke anymore. It's like, shit, I got to tell a joke. I got to make sure not to piss this group off or that group off. Yeah. Make sure I don't get canceled within 24 hours of me telling this joke, right?
Yeah, easy,
so I mean, I feel bad, but you're right. If you're gonna go watch this, movie, remember it came out in the early '80s. It's a parody of like 30 gangster movies, the '30s era gangster movies, and just leave it at that. Go in there. It's a popcorn movie. Don't put a lot of thought into it. This was a great movie, man. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely. I mean, and I could see why this was your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Like I could see why this brings you back because,
easily.
I was watching it and I kind of did the same thing. Like I remember watching it when I was a younger guy. And I was
my brother and I used to watch it together. So there's a lot of movies. My brother passed away in 2005. Yep. So there's a lot of movies that I associate with watching with him.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we had the same taste in everything, but growing up, obviously we're about 21 months apart, so a little less than 2 years. We liked a lot of the same things. Mm-hmm. We watched a lot of the same things together. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot of movies I remember him. And there's some that he introduced me to, you know what I mean? Like Time Bandits and things like that.
Right.
He watched it first and it's like, oh, you got to see this. And I did. You know what I mean? So it's things like this. So this is definitely one of those movies I associate with watching. I remember watching with him. And then I've since loved my whole life since that. You know what I mean? So definitely. Cool. All right. There it is.
How many?
Oh Jesus! Yeah, how many dildos in a purse are we giving this one? How many whitefish are you gonna give this one?
There we go. How many whitefish? I'm gonna give it 4. I'm gonna give it 4 whitefish, man. I enjoyed this movie from beginning to end.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go 4.5.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed this movie from beginning to end, and for me, it hits on a lot of things. Except for the one stupid plot hole, like who he is as a kid. You should know who his brother is.
Yeah.
Other than that, I took it for exactly what this movie was.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking for much of it, so it hit for me. I'm gonna give it 4 whitefish.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. That one plot hole gives me. That's where my half a star is coming from. And I would hate to call any movie perfect. I don't think any movie is perfect, but it's definitely that movie. Every time I watch it, I find it funny. I laugh still at the same jokes, the same things that are going on. I still crack up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely, for me, it's timeless. It's me, so I can watch over and over again. And hopefully when my son's old enough, I'll be able to show it to him. I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Old enough in whose eyes? Yours or Amy's?
Well, it's gonna have to be hers.
Okay, because if it's in your eyes, I'm saying 6 months he's watching this movie.
Within 6 months. Yeah. Within 6 months. What are you, 4 now? All right, let's go.
That's plenty of time. You're good. You're good.
You'll get this joke. That's fine. If not, Daddy will explain it to you in horribly graphic detail.
Horrible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, Johnny Dangerous. Please go watch it, and thank you for listening. Thank you, Larry.
Were
So next week you were going to be doing your pick, Labyrinth,
yeah,
David
man.
Bowie.
Yeah.
Yes.
David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh yeah, young Jennifer Connelly. We'll talk about that when we get on the podcast. So listen for that. And again, thank you to the 3 Geek Dads.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We appreciate it. We can't wait to vibe with you guys again. I know they enjoyed the pop figures that I sent them. They all got the Trading Places pop figures. There's 4 guys, and luckily there's 4 pop figures in that line. So everybody got one. So it was pretty cool. I found them on eBay and sent them.
Yeah, that's what makes it perfect.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. So that was awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Entertainment Rants. Please listen again. Find us on all your podcast platforms. Feel free to drop us a line at engageentertainmentrants.com. Tell us what you think about Johnny Dangerously. Tell us what you think we thought about the podcast. Let us know. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. And that's it. Larry, what are we going to do? We're going to do something.
Rant?
I think we should rant.
Let's rant.
Let's rant.